Morning, children. Sorry for the late. Today I am going to explain experiment with water on everyday life. Okay, very good, Hanish. Good morning, Hanish, Chanukya, Jagara, Padma. Okay, am I audible? Please raise your hands. Okay. What is today our session? Experiment with water on everyday life. Okay. Water is an essential component for all living beings to sustain life. Okay, not only human beings, water is very essential component for all living beings. Means human beings, animals, insects, birds, every organism necessary for living, okay, sustain life. What are the importance of water? We use water for bathing, cooking food, washing clothes, cleaning utensils and irrigation. Please see the picture. Okay, those persons used water different works. Okay, water we use for bathing, cooking food, washing clothes, cleaning utensils and irrigation. And also we use water for electricity generation, okay, water in the plants, and animals also use water. Okay, these are the water uses or importance of water. Okay, let us explain. More important uses of water. Okay, the ocean and sea is cover above 97.5% of salt water. Okay, what is the percentage of water of oceans and seas? 97.5% of salt water in oceans and seas. Okay, do you understand this point? In our universe, the oceans and seas cover about 97.5% of salt water. Okay, 97.5 salt water. Remaining fresh water 2.5%. It is in the form of glaciers. It is in the form of glaciers, rivers, lakes, ice caps, water vapor, groundwater. Okay, these 2.5% of water, fresh water, okay, drinkable water, consumable water in the forms of groundwater, glaciers, rivers, lakes, ice caps, water vapor, okay, in the form of these type of water bodies. Okay, fresh water 97 salt water 97.5% and fresh water is 2.5% existed in our universe. Okay, you remember these percentages. Okay, marine water means sea water or ocean water. Okay, marine water contains high levels of salt. Okay, marine water contains high levels of salt. That's why it tastes salty water. And this water unfit for human consumption. Okay, this marine water or ocean water or sea water, this is unfit for human consumption. Okay, this is unfitable human consumption. We don't use that water because of it is very salty. Okay, we can't drink that water. We can't use that water for cooking food. Okay, irrigation also. Okay, so that salty water don't use in our daily life. Okay, the next point is water cycle. In that water cycle, this is the water cycle better. Okay, this is the water cycle. In this water cycle, the first phenomena is evaporation. Do you understand until now what are the uses of water or what are the importance of water? Okay, do you understand? Please raise your hands. Children, please raise your hands. Do you understand? Or am I repeat again? Okay. Okay. Water cycle. Okay. Water cycle is a process. It is start with evaporation. What is evaporation? Evaporation can be defined as changing the liquid state of water into gaseous state. This is the liquid state water. This is the liquid state water. Okay. Ponds, rivers, wells. Okay. Those are the liquid state water bodies. Okay. Those water changes into gaseous state with the help of heating sunlight. Okay. Heating a sunlight called as a evaporation. Do you understand this phenomena? Evaporation is a process, the liquid state water changing into gaseous state. In this phenomena, the liquid state water changes into gaseous state with the help of heating or a sunlight. With the help of heating or a sunlight. Please see the picture. This is a lake. This is a water body. Okay. When the heating that water, it gets to evaporation. Okay, it change into water states to liquid state to water vapor or a gaseous state. Okay, in this evaporation phenomena, okay, the water in the liquid state to gaseous state. Okay, do you understand? So the next one is in water cycle, transpiration. Okay, transpiration is the evaporation of excess of water from the surface of the leaf. Here the water evaporation from the leaf. Okay, here the water evaporation from the leaf. So this phenomena known as a transpiration. If the water evaporates from the water body, that is called evaporation. If the water evaporates from any water body, that is called evaporation. Okay. If the water evaporated from the leaves, okay, this phenomena are called transpiration. This phenomena are called transpiration. Do you understand until now? Please raise your hands. In water cycle, two types of evaporations are there. Okay, the first one is evaporation from the water bodies. That is known as evaporation. The second one is transpiration. Transpiration, it is a process. The water is evaporated from the leaf surface. Leaf surface. Please see the picture. Okay, here water is evaporated from leaf surface. This phenomena known as transpiration. This phenomena known as transpiration. Please remember these words. Okay. The next one is condensation. The next one is condensation. When water vapor means gaseous state of water. Water vapor means gaseous state of water. In the air, changes into liquid water. Okay, in evaporation process, the water changes into water vapor. But in condensation process, water vapor or a gaseous state of water changes into again liquid state. Okay, the gaseous state of water changes into again liquid state. Okay, in atmosphere. That is known as a condensation. That is known as a condensation. That's why the cloud forming is happening. That's why the cloud forming is happening. Okay. Let's explain again this point. When the water vapor or a gaseous form of water in the air changes into liquid water when it comes in a contact with the cooler surface. Okay, when it contact with the cooler surface, the water vapor, okay, in our surroundings, water vapor is there. Okay, the water vapor go up in atmosphere. Okay, in that atmosphere, top of the atmosphere, okay, in the top of the atmosphere, cooler surface is there. Okay, that time the water vapor converted into the liquid form. The water vapor or gaseous form of water is converted into the liquid form. Okay, that's phenomena known as a condensation. This is reverse process of an evaporation. Okay, in evaporation process, water converted into water vapor. In condensation process, water vapor converted into water. Okay, this is exactly opposite to the evaporation. Okay, do you remember? Please raise your hands. Do you understand or not? Very good. Okay, if you have any doubt, please ask me, children. Radhika, good morning. Okay, condensation is opposite to the evaporation. In this phenomena, water in the gaseous form changes into the water form. Okay, water vapor changes into the water, liquid form. Okay, the next phenomena is precipitation. Precipitation means rain or a snowfall. Okay, that's enough. Precipitation means rain and snowfall. Precipitation is the process in which water from the atmosphere falls back on the earth in liquid or a frozen form. Precipitation can occur in the form of rain and snow. Okay, precipitation occur in the forms of rain or a snowfall. In our regions, the precipitation is occur in rain form, but in polar regions, the precipitation is occur in the form of snowfall. Okay, do you understand? In our region, in our equator region, the precipitation is occur in the form of rainfall. In our polar regions, the precipitation is occur in snowfall. Okay, so precipitation is also one of the part of water cycle. Okay, this is the process in which water from the atmosphere and falls back on the earth in the liquid or a frozen forms. Precipitation can occur in the forms of a rain and a snowfall. Please see the picture. Okay, in this condensation process, the clouds are occur. Okay, the clouds are formed. Then what happened? Rainfall is happened. Okay, that rainfall also known as a precipitation. That rainfall also known as a precipitation. Rainfall or a snowfall. Okay, here snowfall is happened and here rainfall is happening. Okay, this phenomena known as the water came back into the earth surface known as a precipitation. Okay, until now we learn evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation. Okay, 4 process we learn until now. Okay, do you understand until now? Please raise your hands, children. Do you understand until now? Okay, do you have any doubts? Please ask me. Raise your question. Those are the water cycles. Okay, evaporation, transpiration, condensation, and precipitation. These 4 processes are called water cycle. Okay, the next one is water existed in 3 states. Okay, water existed in how many states, children? 3 states. Do you know? Okay, what are those states? Solid state or ice. Okay, solid state, liquid state, gaseous state. Okay, we called ice, water, and water vapor. Okay, water existed in our universe in 3 forms. What are those states? Solid state, liquid state, gaseous state. Generally, we call ice cubes, water, and water vapor. Okay, do you understand? And these 3 states are interchangeable. Okay, these 3 states are interchangeable with the help of heat. Okay, please see the picture. This is solid state water. This is liquid state H2O. What is the formula of water? H2O. The formula of water is H2O. Okay, in solid state H2O, ice cubes like here. Okay, please see the picture. Okay, in H2O, in liquid state like this, in gaseous state like this. Okay, these are the three states of water. The next one is freezing. Okay, freezing. How water changes in one form to another form. Freezing. Freezing is a process to phase changes of a substance from the liquid state to solid state. Okay, in freezing process, H2O changes into liquid state to solid state. Okay, do you observe? Please see the picture. In the phenomena or in this process, in this freezing process, water changes into solid state. Okay, in the water changes into solid state. This phenomena known as a freezing. Okay, at what temperature freezing is noted? 0 degree centigrade. Okay, if you give 0 degree centigrade to the water, it converted into the ice cubes. This phenomena known as a freezing. You put glass of water in deep fridge. In deep fridge, what is the temperature in deep fridge? 0 degree centigrade. After some time, the water changes into the ice cubes. Okay, that is the process known as a freezing. Okay, at what temperature the phenomena started? At 0 degree centigrade, the water changes into the solid state water or ice cubes. Okay, that is known as a freezing. What is the freezing point? 0 degree is a freezing point. Freezing point. Okay, do you understand this freezing process? Children, please raise your hands. Very good. Okay, please listen carefully. It is very easiest topic. Okay, these processes are happened in our surroundings. Okay, Hanish, very good. Hanish, Chanukya, do you understand? Please raise your hands, China. Chanukya. Raise your hand. Do you have any questions? Jagarao, Radhika, Padma, Raghavendra. Okay? Can I continue this session? Okay. The next process is melting. The next process is melting. The change in the solid to liquid phase at a constant temperature is called a melting. Okay? The change in the solid to liquid phase at a constant temperature is called a melting. Okay? This is melting. The solid state H2O changes into liquid state H2O. That is called as a melting. Okay? If you ice cubes put in outside, okay, or a sunlight, what happened there? The ice cube melting into the water. Okay, in 0 degree centigrade, the ice cube melting into the water. That process known as a melting. Okay, so this is also one of the process in interchangeable H2O. The next process is sublimation. The next process is sublimation. This is sublimation. Solid state water changes into the gaseous state. Please see the picture. The solid state water changes into gaseous state. Okay. Solid turns into a gas without going through a liquid state. Okay. The solid state water changes into directly gaseous state. This is known as a sublimation. The sublimation observed in polar regions. Okay, in that polar regions, evaporation is happened. Okay, that is known as a sublimation. Ice cubes converted into directly gaseous state. Okay, that is known as a sublimation. Please see the picture. Solid state H2O converted into the gaseous state. Draw this picture. Okay, if you want, draw this picture in your running notes. It is very useful. Reverse sublimation or a deposition. This is reverse sublimation. This is reverse sublimation or a deposition. Okay. In this sequence, the H2O changes from gaseous state to solid state. Okay. The H2O changes from gaseous state to solid state. Okay. The reverse sublimation is called deposition. Okay. The reverse sublimation also known as a deposition. A process in which gaseous substance condenses directly into the solid. What happening here? The gaseous state water directly convert into the solid state. The gaseous state of H2O directly convert into the solid state. That is known as a deposition or a reverse sublimation. Okay, this is process reverse of the sublimation. That's why we call reverse sublimation. That's why we call reverse sublimation or a deposition. What happening here, children? Here, gas is in gaseous state converted into the solid state. Okay, that is known as a deposition. Please draw this picture, children. Then only you can understand what I am saying. Okay. The next phenomena is, okay. We already learned about these processes, evaporation and condensation. In evaporation, H2O in the form liquid state to converted into the gaseous state. Okay, liquid state into the gaseous state in evaporation process. But in condensation process, exactly opposite to the evaporation. Okay, gaseous state of water converted into the liquid state. Okay, already we discussed about evaporation and condensation. Okay, do you understand? Until now, please raise your hands. You learn about these concepts with experimentally. You think about in our surroundings, what happening. Okay. The next one is what are substances float and sink into the water. Okay, what are the substances float and sink into the water? Okay, objects that are more denser than water sink and those less dense or float. Okay, what are the objects more denser than the water? Those objects are sink into the water. Those objects are sink into the water. For example, you see this picture. Okay, glass, okay, aluminium, blood means our blood, granite, rocks, gold, coal. These are the objects more denser than the water. That's why these objects sink into the water. That's why these objects sink into the water. Okay, these objects, ice cubes, plastic, wood, cork, oil, lithium, sodium. These objects have a lesser denser than the water. These objects are lesser denser than the objects. That's why those objects float on the water. Okay. You also try this one. Okay. If you water bottle throw into the water, what happening there? The water bottle float on the water. Okay. The water bottle float on the water. Because of that water bottle lesser denser than the water. That's why that object float on the water. If you throw into water rock, if you want to observe, the rock is thrown into the water. What happening there? The rock sink into the water because of it has a more denser than the water. That's why the water sink into the water. Okay, do you understand now what are the floating objects, what are the sinking objects? Please raise your hands, children. Ice cube, plastic, wood, cork, oil, lithium, sodium, wood. Okay, those are the floating objects. Why those objects float on the water? Because of those objects have a lesser density than the water. That's why those objects float on the water. Okay, but glass, rocks, aluminium, blood, sand, granite, gold, coal, remaining coins, okay, coins, all these objects are sink into the water because of those objects less, more denser than the water, more denser than the water. That's why those objects sink into the water. Okay, so let us explain what are the examples of floating objects. Ice, plastic, wood, oil, sponge. Sponge also floating object. And petrol, kerosene, acetone, gases, polystyrene, wax, ships and boats are also called as a floating objects. These objects called as a floating objects. What are the sinking objects? Rock, marble, steel, iron, copper, nickel, sand, mercury. These are the examples of sinking objects. Because of these objects have a more density than the water body. That's why those objects sink into the water. Okay, those reach on the bottom of the water. So these are the floating objects and these are the sinking objects. Do you understand until now? Please raise your hands, children. Very good. Okay. The next one is, what are the objects soluble and insoluble into the water? What are the objects soluble and insoluble into the water? Okay, let us explain. We call substances that dissolve in water soluble objects. Okay, for example, sugar and salt are examples of the soluble substances. Okay, you do this experiment after end the session. Okay, if you observe sugar water or a salt water, okay, in that experiment the water and sugar soluble into the water. Okay, in that experiment the water and sugar are soluble into the water. Okay, but what are the insoluble objects? Substances that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. What are the insoluble substances? Please see the picture. Water soluble into the water. Sugar soluble into the water. Okay. Our tablets soluble into the water. And surf powder also soluble into the water. But sand. Okay. But sand insoluble object. Insoluble substance. Sand, chalk powder, oil, those are the insoluble substances. Okay, what are the examples of insoluble substances? Chalk powder, sand, sawdust. Okay, those are the examples of insoluble substances. What are the examples of soluble substances? Sugar, salt, washing powder, tablets. Those are the examples of soluble substances. If we put into those objects, those are the soluble into the water. Okay, but chalk powder, sand, sawdust, those are okay insoluble into the water. Okay, do you understand until now? Please raise your hands. Very good, Nana. Very good. Okay, please explain me again. We learn about water uses. What are the importance of water? In our daily life, water used for bathing, cooking food, washing clothes, cleaning utensils, irrigation, for animals uses, electricity generation, okay, watering the plants. Okay, those are the some of the importance of water. Okay, those are the some of the importance of water. And we'll learn about some points of water. Okay, what are the oceans and seas occupying our universe? What are the percent of salt water or a marine water? 97.5% of marine water occupied in our universe. Remaining 2.5% of fresh water, drinkable water, potable water, consumable water in the forms of groundwater, glaciers, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, and water vapor. Okay, this little bit 2.5% of water is a fresh water in the forms of glaciers, rivers, lakes, ice cubes. Okay. The next one is water cycle. In the water cycle, the first process is evaporation. In this evaporation process, liquid water converted into the gaseous form. In this evaporation process, liquid water converted into the gaseous state. This is also known as a evaporation. The next phenomena is transpiration. In this process, the water evaporated from the leaf surface. Okay, the water evaporated from the leaf surface. This phenomena known as a transpiration. Okay, and the process is condensation. This is exactly opposite to the evaporation. In this process, gaseous state of water converted into the liquid state. Gaseous state of water converted into the liquid state. Okay, that is known as a condensation. Next one is precipitation. In this precipitation, water come back into our earth surface in the forms of water, rainfall, and snowfall. In our equator region, okay, precipitation is occurs in rainfall. Okay, but in polar regions, rainfalls is occurring snowfall. Okay, these are the processes in water cycle. The next one is water existed in 3 states. What are those states? Solid state, liquid state, gaseous states. What is the freezing point? 0 degree point is the freezing point. In this point, the liquid water converted into the ice cubes are a solid state. Okay, this is the freezing point. Please see the picture. The next one is melting. Okay, in this melting point is also 0 degree centigrade. The ice cube are a solid state of water converted into the liquid state. Okay, at 0 degree centigrade, the ice cubes melt into the water. Okay, that is called as a melting point. At what degree the solid state of water converted into the liquid state, that 0 degree point known as a melting point. Okay, freezing points also 0 degree centigrade, melting point also 0 degree centigrade. Okay, at 0 degree centigrade, the water converted into the ice cubes. Again 0 degree centigrade, the ice cube converted into the water. Okay, that is melting, like ice creams. Okay, next one, sublimation. In this process, the solid state of water converted into the gaseous state. Please see the picture. Solid state of water converted into the gaseous state. That is known as a sublimation. In reverse sublimation or a deposition, the gaseous state of water converted into the solid state of water. That is known as a deposition or a reverse sublimation. Okay, do you understand? And this one, evaporation. Already we learned about evaporation. Liquid state of water converted into the gaseous state, that is known as evaporation, and gaseous state of water converted into the liquid state, that is known as a liquid. Okay, that is known as a condensation. Okay, these are the processes are in water. Water changes into one state to another state. Okay, that is called water is interchangeable from one state to another state. And we learn about sinking and floating objects. What are the sinking objects? Glass, coins, sand, aluminium, lead, granite, rocks, okay, marbles, gold, coal. These are the sinking objects. Because of these objects have a more denser than the water. That's why those objects sinking into the water, okay, reach bottom of the water. But some objects like ice, plastic, wood, cork, oil, lithium, sodium, these objects are float on the water because of these objects have a lesser denser than the water. That's why those objects float on the water, okay, reach top of the water. And the next one is soluble and insoluble things. What are the soluble things? Salt, sugar, okay, washing powder, tablets, those are the soluble into the water. But some objects like a chalk powder, sand, sawdust, those are the insoluble substances. Okay, please see the picture. Okay, sand insoluble into the water. Okay, example of insoluble of water. Okay, do you understand until now? Do you have any doubts? Chanukya, Jagarav, Radhika, okay, Padma, Madhavrao. Do you have any doubts, children? Can I end this session? Please raise your hands. Can I end this session? Please raise your hands. Okay. Okay, Jogara, Chanukya, Radhika. Okay. Thank you to all. Once again, thank you to all. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.